So the Champions League round of 16 has dropped. And I'll be honest with you, I think I've realized I don't really like the new format of the Champions League. And I'm going to get into that later in the video. But for right now, just to start off, I'm going to basically go through the round of 16, go through the bracket, and give you my predictions on who I think will advance in their particular matches. So starting off first, we got ourselves Arsenal and PSV. Let's be real here. I would be shocked if Arsenal doesn't advance. And if you're an Arsenal fan, you look at the bracket, I mean, you know, you do have to play the winner of the Madrid derby. That's going to be tough. I mean, realistically, you're probably going to hope that's Atletico, but it's probably going to be Real Madrid. So, if we're just looking at that particular bracket point, I would be surprised if it is not Arsenal versus Real Madrid in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So, just having that put, well, we'll come back to that. We're going to go through all the round of 16, make up the quarterfinals, and then keep going. So, then moving on. We got ourselves PSG and Liverpool. Now, arguably, outside of the Madrid derby, this is probably, if you were to guess, this is, you know, you have Bayern and Leverkusen as well, but I would say this is probably the second best game, just due to the fact that PSG and Liverpool are both in form at this time. As a Liverpool supporter, I would be lying if I was to say I don't think, I think we're going to win this fixture. I think we're going to advance. I wouldn't be surprised if PSG somehow pulls it off and they advance. I think that Liverpool will advance just based on the fact that I think we're better than PSG. And PSG is a big reason why I don't like this new format, and I'll get to that kind of later. But I do think Liverpool will be the team that advances. Moving on, I think Villa will advance over Club Brugge. And I think then that leg of the quarterfinal will be Liverpool against Villa. Moving on, Benfica, Barcelona. No point. It's like PSV, Arsenal. I don't think there's any point further analysis. I think Barca's going to advance. Same thing. Dortmund will advance against Lille. Moving on, Bayern Munich versus Leverkusen. This one in particular interests me because, I mean, like, Bayern didn't do fantastic against Celtic. They narrowly got advanced to playing Celtic. So I'm going to pull probably my first maybe upset of it. I think Leverkusen's going to advance. They honestly and truthfully, I think Leverkusen will advance. I think they will shock. Well, maybe it's not that much of a shock, but I think they'll upset Bayern Munich because I think Bayern will be the favorites. Moving on then, I think Inter's going to beat Feyenoord. So, into the quarterfinals, I think based on the predictions from the round of 16, we're going to have Arsenal and Real Madrid. This is, once you get to this point of the tournament, if it pans out this way, I mean, like, Arsenal could advance to the semifinals, but I think it's going to be Real Madrid. And, like, am I basing that off of historics? Yes. And would I be surprised if Arsenal was to maybe advance over Real Madrid? I wouldn't be completely shocked, but I do think Real Madrid will be the one to advance. Liverpool against Villa. I mean, look, we didn't just play great against Villa, but I think Liverpool in the Champions League, Anfield Knights, I think we advance over Villa. Then I think Barca will advance over Dortmund. Another one that all of the predictions that I have for the quarterfinals, I would not be surprised if like the reverse happens, so to speak. So Barca over Benfica. I have Dortmund over Lille. Barca I think will beat Dortmund. Then I have Inter beating Leverkusen. So, moving on to our semifinals. In one, I have Liverpool against Real Madrid. People aren't going to like this. I think Liverpool would beat Real Madrid to advance to the Champions League final. Am I biased? Probably. Am I wrong? Potentially. But something about it just makes me feel Liverpool are going to win the Champions League this season. I just feel it. I got to be honest. And we already played Real earlier in the Champions League season. Granted, injured Real team, but I think we were just a different level than them, and I think that will reflect if we meet them in the semifinals, which we may not. It might be two completely other teams in the semifinals at that point. Then moving on, Inter, Barca. I think Barcelona. To me, on this side of the bracket, I would be shocked if Barca doesn't just not fast track, but I would be shocked if Barcelona wasn't the team that goes on to the final. I'll be real. I could see any of the there's several teams in the other side of the bracket, like Liverpool and Real side, that I think I could definitely see them multiple different teams going. This side, you have Bayern, you have Barca. I think it's gonna be Barca because, like I said, I see Bayern Munich going out early, and if that happens, I think it would be Liverpool against Barcelona in the Champions League final, and I think we win. That's just me. Probably biased, probably incorrect, but that's my prediction for the remainder of the Champions League. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Am I completely biased? Potentially. But what I don't like about the Champions League new format, the perfect example that I can give on why the new Champions League format is bad is PSG. And it's not, as a Liverpool fan, we drew PSG in the round of 16, and I almost feel like it's more unfair for PSG than Liverpool. Because if you look at the schedule that the two of them had in the earlier part of the Champions League, we had to play, the two best teams Liverpool had to play were AC Milan and Real Madrid. And the Real Madrid team was obviously very injured. AC Milan is not that great this season. But if you look at PSG had to play Arsenal. They had to play City. They had to play Bayern Munich. They had to play several big teams in the beginning part of the Champions League. And then they're able to battle. They're able to get into the knockout stages. They're able to advance, and then they get Liverpool in the round of 16. Me personally, I liked the old table format to where it was consistent on the level of competition you played early in the competition, and then how it advances is pretty cut and dry. I don't like this new format because I think someone like PSG. Yeah, if they beat Liverpool, they're going to play Club Brugge or Villa, and that's a little bit of a let-off. But if you're talking strength of schedule, I think PSG has had a harder schedule in the Champions League than Liverpool. And I don't think that this format allows the opportunity for other teams or for some teams to have an equal level of competition throughout. Some teams just get screwed, and granted that would happen oftentimes in the previous table format, but not to this level, in my opinion. I just look at some of these teams, and I'm like, you just had a hard road to advance in the Champions League. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Am I right? Am I wrong with my prediction? Is the new format better than the old format? I'd love to get each and every one of your opinions. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Put out weekly footballing content, so if you enjoyed this, there's definitely more to come. And I'm also on my way to 1,000 subscribers, so any support, I really, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you all so much for all the support you give me, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.